Hey everyone! Ready to dive into the world of AI? I know a lot of you are curious about DeepSeek and ChatGPT.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of buzz. And you're in the right place if you want to understand what it's all about, what makes them tick, how you might use them.
So let's start with DeepSeek. Think of it like your brainy research assistant, you know?
Right. The one who actually gets what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Not just throwing a bunch of websites at you based on keywords.
It's because of this thing called semantic search. It goes way beyond simple keywords, like, say you're researching, I don't know, sustainable fashion.
Okay.
DeepSeek understands that you might be interested in, like ethical sourcing or eco-friendly materials, even the social impact of fast fashion. All those things connected to that main idea.
So it's not just repeating the words back at you. It's like it understands the meaning behind what you're searching for.
That's it. It's almost like having a real conversation with someone who gets it.
Right. And it gets even cooler, right?
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really neat. DeepSeek uses this thing called reinforcement learning. Basically, it keeps getting smarter the more you use it.
So it's like learning your preferences.
Exactly. Like a research assistant who anticipates what you need next.
Wow. So it's finding the right information, not just any information.
Exactly. And that personalized touch, man, it can be super powerful, especially when you're dealing with like really complex stuff.
Okay, so that's DeepSeek, the research whiz. Now, what about ChatGPT?
ChatGPT. If DeepSeek is the researcher, this one is the storyteller, the poet.
The conversationalist.
Yeah, that's the word. It uses this GPT model to create text that sounds incredibly human, you know?
Like you're talking to a person.
Yeah. And it's crazy versatile. It can generate all kinds of creative stuff like poems, code, scripts, even musical pieces,
Wow. Even music.
emails, letters, you name it. It can even answer your questions in this really informative way, even if your questions are kind of out there, open-ended, bit strange.
So it's like having this brilliant writer on call, ready to whip up whatever you need.
Exactly. And it's not just about creative writing either. ChatGPT can be amazing for learning new things, breaking down complicated stuff, seeing different perspectives. It can even like challenge your assumptions.
So we've got DeepSeek, the research powerhouse, and ChatGPT, this master conversationalist.
And they both have their strengths.
But how do they actually perform? Like in terms of accuracy, that sort of thing.
Good question. So DeepSeek is all about getting you the most accurate information. It's super precise, even if it's not always the most, beautifully written or whatever.
Okay, so it's like prioritizing the facts.
Right. Think of it like a really well-researched paper. Tons of facts and figures. No fluff.
And ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, on the
Yeah.
other hand, it's more about that natural flow. Like you're having a chat with a friend. It might not always be perfectly accurate.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like it sometimes chooses fluency over pinpoint accuracy, but it's still super engaging and thought-provoking.
So it's a trade-off then. Do you want accuracy or a more conversational vibe?
Exactly. You got to know what you're looking for.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need that laser focus. Other times you're just exploring, having fun.
Makes sense. So let's get into some real-world examples. Where would you use DeepSeek, for instance?
Well, imagine all those researchers spending hours digging through papers. DeepSeek can be a game changer for them.
How so?
It can cut through all the noise and find the most relevant research, like instantly. Saves a ton of time and frustration.
So instead of manually searching, they can just ask DeepSeek a question and get a list of all the key articles and stuff.
Yeah. And it's not just for academics either. We saw this great example of a company using DeepSeek to research a new product, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were able to analyze all these market reports, consumer feedback. It helped them spot opportunities they might have missed otherwise.
Ah, so it's about making smarter decisions faster.
Exactly. Cutting through the clutter to get to the good stuff. And that's where DeepSeek really shines.
Okay, so that's DeepSeek. Now, what about ChatGPT? What are some of its real-world uses?
Well, think about customer service, for example. AI-powered chatbots that can handle basic questions, troubleshoot problems.
Right.
It could free up human agents to focus on more complex issues.
And make the customer experience smoother.
Exactly. And it's not just customer service, right? Think about education. ChatGPT can help students grasp those tough concepts.
Oh, yeah, I read about a student using it to get help with a math problem, like step-by-step help.
There you go. It's like having a personal tutor, available 24/7.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
we've only just scratched the surface of what these tools can do.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. As the tech keeps evolving, we're going to see even more innovative applications. It's going to be a wild ride.
I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me neither. It's an exciting time to be in the AI world, that's for sure.
It really is amazing, to see how far AI has come. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. This was all sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing how fast it's all happening. And it's not just like building tools to do specific things anymore. It's like they're learning, they're adapting.
Right. And speaking of surprises, one thing that really struck me is how different DeepSeek and ChatGPT are. Like, they represent totally different approaches to AI.
You're right, they do. On one hand, you've got DeepSeek, Mr. Precision, all about giving you the most accurate information,
Yeah.
even if it's a bit, dry.
Like, straight to the point. No
Yeah.
beating around the bush.
Exactly. And then there's ChatGPT. This one's more about fluency, mimicking how we talk.
Yeah.
Creating that natural, engaging experience.
Even if it means, like, maybe sacrificing a little accuracy sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. It's like with DeepSeek, it's like that chef who follows the recipe perfectly every time. And ChatGPT is more like, I don't know, a jazz musician, just riffing, improvising.
I like that analogy. So both approaches have their strengths.
Right. Sometimes you need that absolute precision, and sometimes you need that creative spark.
It makes me wonder, though, as AI keeps evolving, are we going to see even more specialized tools like this? Or are we going to see this move towards, like, one AI that can do it all?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there are definitely pluses to both. Like DeepSeek and ChatGPT, they're really good at what they do in their own lane.
right.
But a general AI, that's the holy grail, isn't it? Something that it can help you research, write a story, give you advice. It's exciting to think about.
It is, but there are some big hurdles too, right? Not just like the technical side, but also how do you make sure it's used ethically?
Exactly. And that brings up a really important point. As these AI tools become more powerful, we have to talk about the impact they're going to have.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the potential downsides.
Right. We got to consider the benefits,
Hmm.
for sure, but also the risks and challenges. It's a
Yep.
conversation everyone needs to be a part of.
One thing that worries me is like what's going to happen to jobs?
Right.
Will AI automate everything and people will be out of work?
That's a big question. It's complex. It's likely that AI will change things, yeah, but how much? Nobody knows for sure. Some experts think it'll mostly be routine stuff that gets automated.
So humans can focus on the more creative things.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, some people worry that eventually AI could replace like whole job categories.
Yeah, I could see why people would be concerned about that.
It's definitely something we need to think about. Like, how do we prepare people for this new world? Do we need new kinds of education and training programs?
Maybe even things like universal basic income.
Right. Those are all important conversations to have. But it's not just about the economics of it all. There's the societal impact too, right?
Yeah, like how will this affect our relationships, our communities, even our sense of self?
Big questions. Some people think AI could actually make our social connections stronger. You know, help us connect with people who have similar interests.
I could see that. But others worry it could make us more isolated.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, no doubt. And we need to be careful how we use these technologies. Make sure they're actually helping us, not hurting us.
Something else we need to think about is like, what if AI is used for bad stuff? We've already seen examples of deepfakes, misinformation, all that.
It's a scary thought. Like any powerful tool, it can be misused. That's why we need safeguards, we need regulations, we need to make sure this technology is used responsibly.
So as we're figuring all this out, as AI keeps developing, what can we do to make sure it's used ethically?
Well, transparency is huge. We need to be able to see how these algorithms work.
Mhm.
And the data they're trained on, it needs to be fair and unbiased.
We can't just blindly trust these systems.
Right. And we need to keep having these conversations, bring in experts from all different fields, not just tech people.
And be willing to change our approach as things evolve.
Exactly. This isn't a one and done thing. The future of AI is constantly changing. It's up to all of us to shape it.
That's a powerful thought. It's not just about watching this happen, it's about being a part of it.
I agree. It's a really exciting but also challenging time. We have this opportunity to witness and help shape one of the biggest revolutions in human history.
So as we dig deeper into DeepSeek and ChatGPT, let's keep the bigger picture in mind. These aren't just tools, they're part of this massive shift that's happening.
Let's see how we can use them to unlock new possibilities, solve problems, and create a better future.
Starting with DeepSeek, let's talk about how it's being used in academic research. Imagine researchers having access to all the information they need instantly.
That's the power of DeepSeek. It uses semantic search and that adaptive learning we talked about to find the most relevant research, like right away.
So no more wasting time going through tons of papers manually.
Exactly. It's like a personal research assistant who knows what you're looking for, even if you don't.
That's incredible. And it's not just about finding information, right? It can actually help researchers see patterns and make connections they might have missed.
You got it. Like, imagine someone studying climate change and how it affects biodiversity.
Okay.
They could use DeepSeek to analyze data from all sorts of sources, like satellite images, weather patterns, you name it.
And DeepSeek could help them see the big picture.
Exactly. It could show them correlations, trends, things that wouldn't be obvious just looking at the data. And that could lead to all sorts of new discoveries.
Wow. So DeepSeek has applications beyond just academics, right?
Oh, absolutely. People are using it in market research, finance, healthcare, all kinds of things.
Give me an example.
Well, a marketing team could use it to analyze consumer trends, for example. Figure out what people are interested in, what they're buying.
Ah, so they can create better campaigns.
Right. Or a financial analyst could use DeepSeek to track the markets, see how things are moving, assess risk.
And make better investments.
Exactly. And even a doctor could use DeepSeek to research the latest medical studies, figure out how to treat a patient.
So the possibilities really are endless.
They are. DeepSeek is this really powerful tool that can help us unlock new knowledge, solve all kinds of problems.
Okay, so we've talked about DeepSeek. Now let's switch gears to ChatGPT. Let's see how its conversational abilities can be used for like entertainment and education.
One really cool area is interactive storytelling. Imagine like literally stepping into a story, interacting with the characters, making choices that change the plot.
That would be amazing. Like choose your own adventure, but on a whole other level.
Exactly. And that's what ChatGPT can do. Developers are using it to create games, virtual worlds, even personalized novels.
Wow, personalized novels.
Yeah, it's like having a personal storyteller who creates a story just for you.
That's wild. And what about education? I feel like there's a lot of potential there too.
Absolutely. ChatGPT can create these super personalized learning experiences. Like imagine having a one-on-one conversation with an AI tutor who answers your questions and explains things in a way you understand.
That would be a game changer for so many students.
It would, and ChatGPT can even create simulations in virtual labs, so students can experiment and learn in a safe environment.
Like a virtual chemistry lab where you don't have to worry about blowing anything up.
Exactly. It makes learning more fun, more accessible.
So as we're learning more about DeepSeek and ChatGPT, it's clear that these aren't just tools, they're more like partners.
Partners in exploration, creativity, they
Yeah.
can help us think in new ways, see things we might have missed.
But we have to be careful, right? We have to use them responsibly.
Absolutely. As we move forward, we need to approach these technologies with a sense of wonder, yeah? But also responsibility. Make sure we're using them for good.
Because ultimately, it's not algorithms or machines that are deciding the future of AI. It's us.
That's right. It's our choices, our values that will shape how this all plays out.
You know, it's crazy to think how fast all this is happening. It's like AI is everywhere now.
I know, right? It's becoming a part of our daily lives.
Yeah.
Like just a few years ago, we were amazed by, I don't know, a computer beating a chess grandmaster.
And now we have AI creating art, writing music, even coding.
It's insane. And who knows what's coming next? In a few years, maybe AI will be like personalizing education for every kid.
Or like directing traffic to avoid jams.
Or maybe designing treatments for like really complex diseases.
The potential is huge. But of course, we've got to make sure it's used for the right reasons.
Exactly. That's where AI ethics comes in. We have to make sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Right. And that it's not used to harm anyone or, make existing problems worse.
Yeah, and that means thinking about things like bias in algorithms.
Making sure the data used to train AI is actually representative of, all different kinds of people.
And we need to be able to understand how AI is making decisions. Like it can't just be a black box.
We need that transparency.
Exactly. Transparency and accountability. And these aren't just conversations for like tech experts. Everyone needs to be involved.
Yeah, because ultimately it's going to affect all of us.
Absolutely. AI will change how we work, how we interact with each other, even how we think about ourselves. We've got to start thinking about these things now before it's too late.
It feels like we're at this crucial turning point.
We are. We have this opportunity to really shape the future of AI.
To make sure it's aligned with our values, that it's used to make the world a better place.
And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be alive, honestly. We're not just witnessing history, we're helping to make it.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into DeepSeek and ChatGPT, it's clear that this is just the start of the AI adventure.
Oh yeah, we've just scratched the surface. There's so much more to discover, to learn, to create.
And we hope this conversation has inspired you, our listeners, to join us on this journey.
Explore AI, ask questions, don't be afraid to challenge assumptions, be a part of the conversation.
Because the future of AI is not predetermined. It's what we make it.
And remember, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.